Kingfish Fridays, Kingfish Fridays, yeah! Tally ho, my name is KingFishOcean and welcome to Kingfish Fridays. Now this week, considering there's not really many updates that I need to give you guys, there's not really much going on, I thought, you know what, I'd take this Friday to take a little bit of time off from the doom and gloom of just telling you guys about what's going on with the channel and do something a bit more fun. Now I've noticed quite a lot recently that quite a lot of you ask me what software I use to make my videos, what equipment I use, what microphone I have, and just generally how I make my videos, so I thought I'd take the time this week to show you guys how I make my videos. I thought this would be a good idea because a lot of you guys who have been around for a while may recognise this setup that I've got going on and the green screen and all that stuff and recognise the way I've got the camera right now, but I know that a lot of you guys have asked me like what goes on behind the scenes, you know, like how do I make these videos and what exactly do I do? So first of all, I will point out that my entire setup is in my bedroom. This over here to the right is actually my bed with a bit of junk on it that's usually left on this side of the table here. But this is pretty much what my setup usually looks like when I'm recording. Now first of all, I'll start with the green screen. You may notice that I have a green screen in the background. I use this in order to achieve that effect that I have where the person kind of appears on the screen down here but there's no background. That's how you do that. This here is actually a tripod for the camera that I'm currently holding right now. I usually have this facing downwards at about this angle in order to achieve, with a little bit of zoom in order to achieve that usual look that I have. Over here you'll see I actually have my Xbox with my original channel branding on it, which I may be changing sometime in the future. So I have my Xbox set up there, so whenever I need to record videos such as Fallout 4, I can go straight into recording them without having to keep moving from room to room. Now you will also notice at the side here I actually have my Oculus Rift, which is wrapped up in wires right now because I was in the middle of using it last night. I'm not even lying, my desk is pretty messy right now. Now here's a fun little behind the scenes fact. This little thing over here I actually need for my television because when I actually pick up my television, it kind of droops a little bit forward, so it's kind of hard to see. So what I tend to do is I have this little thing here and then I put my TV on top of it. So then I can actually see it with a better angle. As you can see, there's my computer screen for comparison. That is the angle that I usually have it at and that is how I can see things. So I have to have it the exact same angle, otherwise without the box I do stupid things and spill my drink because I'm a moron. So there you go everyone. I'm stupid outside of my videos, there's no illusion there. Also, just for the fun of it, I've got a little variety of, well, 2 different coins here of British money. Also a stack of games that I've been playing in my spare time, although Fallout 4 is there so that then I can record it whenever I need to. And now we get to the main setup. I will immediately say that my setup is not exactly the tidiest of setups, that I'm not gonna lie about. Also, I record all my videos while sat on this thing, which is actually a keyboard stool. It's a stool used for if you want to play a keyboard, because I don't have a real chair because I'm a peasant. So here we go. This is usually the view that I have when I'm playing my games. When I say that my pop filter is in the way, I am not lying. This thing is always in front of my screen. Because the thing is, if I move my microphone any further down, it'll just end up drooping so far that I can't use my keyboard at all, because it's kind of in the way. Now this is only a cheap keyboard that I bought off eBay, but I rather like it just because it's got the whole chroma kind of thing going on with like the red and the blue, the green, the different colours, and I think it looks incredibly pretty at night. For my mouse I actually have a Razer Naga and I use that on a Razer Vespula. Now I'm not gonna lie, you may have seen from my headphones in the past that I'm actually a big fan of Razer related gear. I just like how it looks, I feel like it fits me personally. I have my little Vault Boy here from a Fallout Special Edition. I also have these speakers. Now the worst problem about this is, I've got one over here, but these speaker wires are so short, I can't actually move that any further past that without it tugging, so that kind of sucks. As you'll see here, my microphone is actually an Editor's Keys SL150, and I have a pop filter that came with that. Now for anyone who might not make videos who doesn't know what this does, when you speak into the microphone without one, when you make a kind of sound, the audio will just go absolutely berserk and it sounds absolutely awful, which is called the, well, I like to call it the popping effect. So this thing, the pop filter, stops it from popping. It's not exactly the most expensive of stands, but I do have a little microphone stand to help me out with stuff. Now this is my computer, but I actually have no idea what the specs are yet. I'm not really too accustomed to using computers, so once I find out what everything does and what everything is in my computer, I may do a video where I talk about just my computer alone and what exactly it has. Even though it's not really a good computer, I'm not gonna lie, it was on a budget. Also, don't mind the light at the side, it's kind of dark under the table and it's hard to see on the camera without me flashing my flashlight from my phone into the camera, which is, you know, professional. You can just see over here, I actually have my Oculus Rift sensor, and on top of those I actually have 2 external hard drives for my footage. Another thing I forgot to mention is I actually use this thing to record console gameplay for my Xbox One and my PS4. So this pretty much plugs in from one port into my Xbox and from another port into my television. That's why the TV is here, so that I can use my Xbox One and record videos on it. So now I've shown you guys a little bit about the equipment I use, I've actually put the camera back down on the stand so that I can show you guys a few little tips and a few little things of what programs I use. Now first of all, I'm pretty sure this is pretty much a must for anyone. I use Audacity for my audio, which you can see is recording on the screen right now. This software is free and works with pretty much any microphone that I know of, so it is very, very good to have. There's also a lot of options to tweak and mess around with your audio in this software, so I would very much recommend it. Now in terms of game recording software or screen recording software, what I'm actually using to record my full desktop screen right now is a software called Marillus Action. Now I personally downloaded this a while ago just to use with The Sims because I heard that this software is very good at keeping your CPU levels lower than other programs such as Fraps and Bandicam, which are 2 really good ones as well. But I personally really like using this because you have lots of different settings. You got like your video sizes, your frame rates, all that kind of stuff, and you can go from the game screen recording to active screen to desktop, which to be honest I just always go with active screen because I play my games in full screen anyway, so I may as well just keep it at that. But this software is very good. 2 that are also very good that I mentioned before is Fraps, which is one that I know that a lot of people use, and also Bandicam. Now the only problem with these 2 is I don't think Fraps needs a purchase. I think it just adds an extra couple of features if you do buy it, but I know that Bandicam you do need to buy it in order to have certain privileges, but these are actually relatively cheap. I think Fraps and Bandicam both cost me maybe about £20. I'm not sure what that is in dollars, maybe $30, I'm not too sure. So they are relatively cheap and very good to use. Now what I use for my thumbnails is Adobe Photoshop CS6. Now I don't really think it really matters too much which CS version you've got, or if you've got CC, which is, I don't remember what that stands for. Okay, I'm not completely professional, but this software is very, very good for making thumbnails. As you can see on the screen right now, I actually have a thumbnail that I made only yesterday, which is for Undertale Part 5. But the thing I like about this is you can have all these different layers. Like this, I don't know if there's a limit, but there's tons of layers that you can have. And as you can see here, I'll just select 5, which is the number. I can just move it around, I can do all these things with it, like I can change gradients, which is a very, very helpful tool. Like I can make it brown or orange or pink. Also, these are not pre-installed, these gradients. If you're going to download Photoshop or if you're going to purchase Photoshop, which I will say now is quite expensive, but if you're going to purchase it or use it, I would very much suggest looking on the internet for lots of different things, such as gradient packs and the styles as well. Styles is incredibly useful. I've actually used quite a lot of these in some of my videos. Like I've got one here that's meant to be gold, but for some reason isn't quite looking that way. We've got these other gold ones, got this red one, got this green one, got this one, I've got that one, I've got this one, I've got that one, I've got that one, and that one. There's tons that you can do with Photoshop, and this is why I personally really love using Photoshop for my thumbnails. Now, another recording software that I have that I forgot to mention is Game Capture HD. This is a product that works alongside my Elgato Game Capture HD system that I showed you before, that goes from the TV to the Xbox or to any console. I think it goes to PlayStation and Nintendo Wii or Wii U or whatever it is. Now, as you can see, it's not actually currently plugged in. Now, this software has been giving me a lot of issues recently, but I don't think it's actually the software itself. I've never had a problem with the software, it's just that my computer's not handling the software for some reason. So I can't currently use this, hence why some of my console videos, such as Fallout, may disappear for a few weeks, because I'm still trying to get this up and running and find out what the problem is. But this is actually really good software to use. It's actually the best one that I've used so far. So if you're looking to record Xbox videos or PlayStation videos or Nintendo Wii U videos, this is the software to use. Now, from what I know of, it doesn't work with handheld systems such as the PSP or the Nintendo DS. Now, for editing software, I use Sony Vegas Pro 13. Now, I absolutely love using this software. I know there's a lot of people that use Adobe Premiere Pro, which I may upgrade to and use in the future, because from what I know of, that is one of the best ones you can use, but I personally am really comfortable and love using Sony Vegas Pro. Now, I don't know if he still uses it, but I know that at some point Jacksepticeye has actually used this software for his videos. Now, the one thing that I will say quickly is that if you are going to use a software like this, don't be put off by how complicated it may look if you've never used it before. At first, it is quite overbearing, and it's rather confusing to figure out what, you know, like, oh, what's this down here and what's all this stuff up here. But pretty much what I did is I self-taught myself. I just played around with it. I just tried to figure things out for myself. I just had a bit of fun with it. I also looked up a few tutorials online on how to do certain things, and I'm always looking up new things that I can do in order to make myself better with my editing. It's pretty much just a matter of patience and time and just putting some effort in to really learn how to use the software. Now, another little tip that I'll give to you guys is always find a way to synchronize your audio. One thing that I always do at the beginning of all of my videos is I always do a little thing where on my gameplay screen, I will have, say, my controller. I'll have my controller, and on Undertale, I'll have my menu, and then I'll say synchronizing audio. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But as I do this, I'll press a button, I'll press down or up, so I'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So then I can see it moving on the game while also my lips moving on the camera and my audio at the same time. This, for me, is a very, very handy way to sync up all your audio and your gameplay to make sure that nothing's like out of sync, so you're not playing like Outlast, like a horror game. You get a jump scare and 5 seconds later you just go, "Whoa!" and freak out because it's like all unsynchronized. So as you can see, I'd usually sit here and edit through all this stuff. There's all this that I usually have to put into just a single Undertale video, which is actually a video that isn't very highly edited for me. It's usually quite, like, it's fast edits, it's jump cuts and a lot of stuff like that. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know what you think about my setup, or, you know, if you want any more information or you want any more tips or anything like that, let me know. If you want me to do anything like this, let me know in the comment section. I'm not exactly sure what to do, though. I mean, I did mention at some point I'm going to go into what I have on my computer, even though it's not really that great, to be honest. It's nothing to be impressed by. It's actually kind of a crappy computer, but I'm on quite a tight budget at the moment in terms of being able to afford stuff. But anyways, guys, don't forget to slap that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Pip pip toodle-oo! Kingfish Fridays, Kingfish Fridays, yeah! Tally ho, my name is KingFishOcean and welcome to Kingfish Fridays. Now this week there's not exactly too many big things to talk about, but there were a few other things that I wanted to talk about. Now first of all, I've got a few little channel updates that I want to talk about.